Hello and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is currently Tuesday the 29th of March. The time is 10:34 a.m. and this is my morning forecast for the day ahead. As you can see, guys, this is the Aussie US dollar. You can see that we have been coming up in this really nice ascending manner. We've broken these major highs, retraced, breaking, retrace, breaking, retrace. And after that, of course, we were pretty range bound in here before we got this break. Once we broke, even though we broke this low, retraced, we had a one candle retrace and continued with that momentum. So again, for me, what am I seeing? I'm seeing ascending, I'm clearly seeing this weakness, and I'm looking to get involved in a reversal opportunity. Now again, for me, there was the entry that people may have possibly got tagged in here. This is the kind of bullet level. Now for me, I will just quickly go over why I wouldn't be looking for a continuation flag in the sense where I forecast like this, where we actually got it here. Now the reason being, number one, is that we had this aggressive pullback, and number two is that of course we had this very strong candle down being very close to the low. But again, I personally wasn't looking, especially after this aggressive pullback after that wick. Now again, continuation bullets do fit my plan for this, and I want to just help show you guys what I'm actually reading in terms of market reaction and why I believe still this is still a good setup to go down. I missed this entry, so again, my pending order personally still on. If I get tagged, I get tagged. If not, then fine, completely fine. It goes down as a mistrade. Now the reason being is if we look at how we're reacting at these liquidity areas, there are a ton of fake outs is what I'm spotting. You can see we have liquidity here, okay? We came up and then we came down with momentum. Where are these sellers putting their stops? They're putting it above here. Again, taking these stops out with the wick, how did we push down? We saw that momentum. Again, we got those double wicks as an indication for us, but again, all these sellers here pushing down, where are they going to put their stops? Getting caught in this trap. Now again, they took it out, started to push down, retrace and push down. So again, we've got a nice continuation of momentum. And one of the things I'm really liking within this setup here, even is not only the fact that we rejected from this bullet level and started to see momentum, but also if you look after this aggressive retrace, we've pulled back, we have liquidity here, right? We see that sellers are getting caught on the wrong side of the market. Their liquidity's there, all their stops are being taken out up here from the wick. And we've got this market reaction down. You can see every time we're taking this liquidity, we're getting strong market reactions to the downside. You can see that here, 1, 2. Here, not so much, but again, this is one continuous move. 3, 4, 5. Again, 5 clear examples in local price action, giving me clear evidence that, hey, we are just faking out and we are just taking out stops, but soon there is a high probability that we will just go down. So again, that is the reason why I'm very happy to have my pending order currently. So again, what will I be looking at if I do get tagged in? Well, of course, I'll be looking to get involved in a nice continuation setup like this if we get the opportunity. We may not, if I actually we should start impulse up. If market does not want to do what it is hinting at doing, and we start to see that push up, I will be looking to get involved in a nice continuation flag to the upside. Okay, again, completely fine, completely happy with that. Now, if we actually come down and break this low in the descending manner, I will be sitting on my hands, being patient and seeing what happens next. We're taking out stops to this lower side, and if we get a nice break, pull back to this level, we'll be looking for a nice reversal setup at this level. Or if we break impulsively and get a nice continuation flag, I will be looking for a nice setup like this. Okay, so currently for me personally, I am looking to see what happens next. It's either I personally get tagged into this trade, okay, or if we break the low, I'm not looking to get involved, and I'm going to see how we actually look to get involved if we actually start a nice downtrend to the down south side. Okay, so again, for me, I am waiting for a little bit more price action on this pair to see if we get tagged in. Like I say, I'm really liking the formation of this. Again, even though I've missed this first initial setup here, I'm liking the fact of how we rejected from that line. For me, there's a lot going for this trade, so personally, I'm happy to take this. Next pair is the Aussie Japanese Yen. As you can see, guys, we've had this V, and what do we know after a V? We know we typically get a range and a push in the direction of the second leg. So you see that we've pushed up, had a large wick, had an aggressive retrace. We've broken this low, retraced, broken this low, retraced, broken this high, retraced. Okay, now even though this is now suggesting that we've got no momentum down, no momentum up, I will be looking for potential opportunities to go south if, of course, we do get that kind of move like this again. Now, why is this high probability? Well, not only will we have seen a ascending within here, but again, we've come from this big V, we've seen that we've got momentum to this downside, and again, I will be looking for opportunity like this, but it all depends on price action and if we see nice clear momentum. For me currently, like we can see, we are clearly a little bit range bound, so I want to see what happens next. If we get that set up, I will be looking to take it. If we impulse down, and move in that direction of the second leg of this volatility, I will be looking to get involved in a nice continuation flag, okay? Same to the upside. If we impulse up, and we'll be looking to take a nice continuation flag, but again, this will have to be a bit longer and larger. If we're just entering this area of liquidity, I want to see a nice committed break through it, and then I'll be looking to get involved in a nice continuation flag, okay? What do we know about this pair? This pair likes to trend quite correctively, but again, we want to wait for this really nice high probability setup on the Aussie Japanese Yen. It doesn't trend as correctively as the Aussie US dollar, so we're waiting for a little bit more, but eyes wide open, especially seeing as we've got this V, anticipating the range, and move in the direction of the second leg. We are going to look for setups like that. So again, waiting for a little bit more price action on Aussie Japanese Yen to see and show its hand where it wants to go. Next pair is the Euro US dollar. As you can see, guys, pretty range bound with this pair. You can see that yesterday we did have this quite a volatile nature. We went up and went down in a sense. Again, personally, I did not look to get involved in any combos. For me, I saw we broke this high, retraced. What have we done after that? Again, broken the high, retraced, broke the low, retraced, broken the high, retraced. All in all, Euro US dollar is pretty range bound. So for me, I want to wait for a lot more of a higher probability setup. In this kind of scenario, if we come down and out of this in a descending fashion, I will be looking at opportunities to go long if we see that momentum, and same to the upside. If we see a corrective behavior, I will be looking at opportunities to go down. Now, for me, again, like what do I like to say on this pair is that we do like to see, if we see this impulse up, I'm more than happy to look for that flag. But if we see this impulse up and we see this ascending nature or ascending trend, either are we looking to get involved if price action is right, or look to get involved on that reversal. We've seen the weakness. Again, we're getting the buyers trapped, and again we are on the right side of the market. Retail traders will think that this is part of the up move, so they'll think that the low is here, the high is here. They think that this is one impulsive move, so they'll be looking at Fibonacci and looking to go long at some retest here. But we are on the right side of the market because we've read price action at the top here. So this is something that I do like to look for. But currently, like I say, Euro US dollar is very range bound. I don't like to take any trades until we are more or less showing where we want to go very clearly out of sight of this price action area. Next pair is the Euro Japanese Yen. And as you can see, this I've actually put the highs and lows on yesterday because I knew that we're going to be range bound, especially seeing this. And again, that's exactly what we got. So again, anticipating a lot more of this range. So like I say with the Euro US dollar, I want to see how we exit this price action. If we actually come down in a descending manner, I will be looking to get involved in a nice reversal setup long, but we may not get that. We might come in a descending and impulse down. If we do that, more than happy to look for continuation flags. Or just like I explained with the euro dollar, if we see this kind of weakness, impulse down, weakness to the downside, I will be looking at opportunities to go long. Again, for me personally, I'm not looking at any bullet trades either. I don't know if anyone is looking at a rejection off this inside bar here. That is not something that fits my plan at all. We've come from a range, we've come up and had a very aggressive retrace. And even though we're ranging around, the price action prior is not coming from high probability price action. So for me, I'm not looking to enter any trades on Euro Japanese Yen until we actually break out of these highs and lows impulsively or correctively, and then I'll be looking for trades. Again, I don't anticipate me taking any trades on the Euro pairs today. Next pair is the pound. As you can see, guys, there was actually a setup here. So there was a continuation flag that I did not take, and I'll explain my thought process. So you can see that we had this move down, we had this range. Again, we broke this low, retrace, broke the low, retrace, broke the high, retrace, evidence of a range, and we saw this really nice momentum down. But what did we get at the end? We got on a wick, okay, and then we pulled back. Now, one of the reasons why I did not take this is because the wick was a big warning sign, but I did not really like prior price action. We are coming from some very uncertain price action. Yes, we got a strong move down. We pulled back, didn't really see any shift in momentum, retraced, came down and retraced. Now, another thing that I did not like about this setup is the entry candle. If you think about it, this is kind of anyone that knows baby pips or knows formations. This is like an evening star or morning star formation. Now, this solid candle is pretty close to the low in a sense. So for me, I'm not really liking it at all. But again, when you see this kind of formation, and like I say, people that have studied baby pips and see this evening star formation, they're going to be like, okay, yes, this is exactly what I like to see. Let's get involved here. I'll put my stops here, and look what's happened. Stops have been taken out, and now we've continued the move down. So again, this is one of the reasons why I didn't get involved. I anticipated that, saying that, hey, retail traders are more likely to put their stops here, so we're likely to push up again. And again, even if we look at the stop loss, I personally use a 20 pip stop loss. This is pretty tiny on it. Again, it would have been taken straight out. So again, for me, I personally did not get involved. We've broken this low and retraced. So what am I looking for? Well, like I said on this pair, I do like to see impulsive moves. We move up impulsively, more than happy to look for those nice continuation flags, okay? Very nice, very high probability. Or we look for those continuations. If we see that momentum, that commitment, retrace, break again, I will be looking to get involved in these scenarios. Very high probability setups, okay? So I want to see a lot more commitment. We started to see it here, but again, it wasn't really that much commitment, but again, price action wasn't right for me. So for me personally, I avoided it. So next pair is the New Zealand Japanese Yen. As you can see, guys, similar to the Aussie Japanese Yen, we did have this large pull up, long wick, aggressive push down, broke the low, retrace, and again, I think, did we break the low here again? 954, 924. Yes, we broke this low, retraced. So again, we are seeing this in a sense a little bit of a descending. Like I say, when we see this fee, this volatility, we do like to see this range and move in the direction of the second leg. So I will be looking at opportunities. If we break this low, pull back to this level, I will be looking at an opportunity like this, but price action has to be very, very good. You can clearly see that we have had intermediate price action in between, showing us that we're a little bit range bound. So I want to see a little bit more. If we actually come up like this and then we break the low, pull back to this level, something like this will be very nice. But again, the momentum has to be very clear and I want to see that weakness, okay? So for me, we are anticipating the move down. It doesn't have to be like that. I'm not really interested in reading too much into liquidity right now currently on this pair because of course you can see, like I say, we are a little bit range bound. So for me, creating biases and things like this is not really necessary, unlike like I showed you with the Aussie US dollar where it was a lot more necessary. So for me personally, I'm just sitting on my hands and waiting on New Zealand Japanese Yen to show its hand before I look to get involved, okay? So we have been on the ascending, seen that V, anticipating that move in the direction of the second leg. So that is what I'm looking at in the market ahead, guys. I hope you all have a fantastic trading day and I'll speak to you guys tomorrow.